Good morning, everybody. I'd like to give a shout out to Ben, my first subscriber. Thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Yeah, you're my first subscriber. Hopefully that continues, and I appreciate it a lot. And figured I'd give you a view of what I do in the mornings on a day I gotta move sheep. This is my uncle's field. His house is back that way. My house is back in there. But this is the field that he owns. He leases this out to a local dairy farm that produces a lot of corn silage for their cows. As you can tell, it's so wet. This is just crazy. This is January 1st in 2022. Wow, New Year. Happy New Year to everybody. But this is what a crop field looks like. I'm sure you've all seen one. But this is the walk that I have to make this time of year. I don't have a truck. I don't have a four-wheeler. I don't have a tractor. Just not at that stage of my life yet. Which is okay. We'll get there. They didn't build anything without some time into it. Well, there's been some great monuments built over the years, and it definitely wasn't built in a day. Sorry if that's a little movie. I'm trying to hold it still to my best, but I'm carrying this, just a whipped cream container full of minerals. I carry these out with me almost every day. Make sure them sheep got their minerals. Considering that we only feed grass or hay when we need to feed hay. But with this type of weather here in New York, you're definitely not gonna have to feed any hay. Normally we got at least a few inches of snow, and it's real cold. It's 42 degrees this morning, and which that's pretty good. I mean, it's cold for some people, but I don't think it's too cold. I'm just wearing a hoodie out here. Well, this is, I'm not sure if I mentioned in my last video, but this is a different property. Actually, if I can show you, zoom in. You see my uncle's yellow barn right there. And you see that field on the hillside? That's the Shea Farm. That's the 200 acres in Austin. This is my uncle's land here in Canaseraga. I bring the sheep down here for the winter because the barn's just kind of a central part. We don't use the barns for livestock at all. Just putting that out there. But to the barns from the main road is a mile of dirt road that is all private. We're landlocked by somebody's, and they do not plow the road, and I don't have the ability to plow the road, so I just bring the sheep down here before we get snow. Brought them back a little earlier. I definitely got enough stockpile up there I could be grazing, but the problem is if I have them up there and we get a turn of weather, I can't get them back down here. I mean, I guess I could walk up, but you're experiencing how long this walk is. It wouldn't be very fun to walk a mile one way every day just to go move some sheep, feed some dogs, and check on everything. Because even though I move my sheep every day, every 2 days, I check them every day, sometimes twice, just to make sure everybody's okay. Make sure I don't use any perimeter fencing, like legitimate perimeter fencing, as you'd call it. I mean, no high tensile, no steel wire, no sheep fencing. All we use is the Premier One electrified nets. And I mean, I do have a solid pasture. That's steel wire, 14 gauge steel wire. But that is only about a 1 acre paddock. So if I have my sheep on there, they're literally there for, you know, 1 day, or it is more like a, you know, a stockyard or feedlot style situation, which I don't like that. I like to keep the sheep moving. We don't worm at all, so we have to be very aware of our parasite resistance. This is where they were. You see this quite heavily grazed. They might have been here a little too long, but we're just circling them through here. We probably won't be back until next year. Here's the dogs and the sheep. You see my fencing. I just move it every day, but there's no other fence out here. My uncle had some cows when I was a kid. Back towards that barn. But it's weird, he only fed hay and grass, but he didn't rotate them, so he wasn't getting the full potential, unfortunately. On the right track with not feeding grain, but sorry about all that. That's a crop field. What happens when the crop farmer gets into your grass area. This is what big tractors do. Sometimes I wonder why conventional farmers do not use smaller tractors on wider areas. It just doesn't make sense to me. You know, if your big tractor is going to get sunk and you're going to tear up the field, why drive it out there? It's a little faster. Okay, well, where'd you save time? You destroyed some stuff in the soil, that's for sure. But yeah, this is the hair sheep flock. That's number 16. She is very friendly. My sheep are looking a little bit thinner than last year, I noticed, but last year we didn't have lambs. We didn't have a ram for that. They didn't lamb that spring. I bought them open, and but they were bred this year. We bought those 3 black ones. I'm sure you guys remember. Oh, look at that, my ram. He's doing that goofy face. Maybe one of the ewes are in heat. That's a purebred St. Croix ram. I bought him from a lady down in Maryland. Real nice lady. Shout out to you. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I won't put your name out there without your permission, but thank you if you ever see this. This is Jesse, and here in New York, bought that ram from you. He's doing good. He seems to be fitting in with the flock real well. But they were moved here 2 days ago. This is how much forage they've taken down. There's still some to come back to if you really want to. There's still a lot of green, which that's awesome. I just love feeding them green grass in the winter. But that's what we're going to. You know, you want to see some sheep get excited, we will show you the move. Just a second, I gotta set this phone down. Sorry about that. But here we are back. They're all ready to go. I can't call them, but I don't even have to. They're all ready. They know the drill. Dogs are already out there checking out the perimeter line, marking their territory, telling all the predators around. This is now our spot. One question, anybody can leave some comments. I'm training Spruce, my Anatolian Shepherd. I'm having a problem. He likes to bite the sheep's ears, which I really don't like that. It makes him bleed. You're risking infection. Plus, it's just not a good habit for him to get into. So if anybody has any suggestions on how to break him of that, I mean, I can get after him if I'm out here and he chases them, but I'm not here most of the time.